The college basketball experience, Big Sky season preview for 25-26 edition on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog is hooking up new customers. Play just $5 and get 100 in bonus funds when you use our sign-up code TCESGPN. Welcome, everybody, into the college basketball experience. Big Sky season preview for 25-26. Oh, the old Big Sky. Regionality matters in this league. A lot of great Northwest teams. We'll talk about it. The defending champion Montana Grizz. Break down each team. Talk about how we did last year and rank all teams 1 through 10. But, hey, if you're wondering who you're listening to, I am Moneyline Mac, a.k.a. the former video coordinator for Bob Huggins and Frank Martin. Oh, yeah. Also known as Mac Tonight over here at the College Experience. Preview number 10, man. We're in the double digits. We're plugging along here. We got 21 to go after this. Less than 4 weeks to go. We'll get them all in like we always do. Joining me to talk college hoops, you guys know him from the great state of Michigan. Sweating out his Detroit Tigers right now in the playoffs game 3. He is the LeBaron Drive and cocktail napkin having. He is Noah Bienick. What's up, bro?
What's going on, guys? Yeah, I'm going head-to-head with a lot of viewers of this show. A lot of teams from the Pacific Northwest, a lot of fan bases out there. I'm sure there's plenty of Mariners fans. We're going head-to-head here in the Game 3 where we're currently tied 1-1. And unfortunately, I've been so distracted today, did not go back and listen to last year's episode. So I don't have like a conference recap from our preview last year, unfortunately. But nevertheless, still excited, and I love the Big Sky.
Everybody loves the Big Sky, man. It's a good league, man. It's a throwback league. It's a bus league. Third man in the booth. You guys know him from the nation's capital. He is the green mowing, weed growing. He is Troy Tuning. What's up, man?
Yeah, did you like Bill Russo's comment? You're looking live from the Big Sky.
Looking live at the Big Sky. And we got, the Sun Belt next?
I was going to say Noah's got the Pens and Rangers, too. He's got opening night for hockey.
Yeah.
See the Let's Go Pens towel there in the background.
Yeah, I got this back here, but at the same time, that's just by association of where I went to college. I actually grew up like hating the Penguins with the Red Wings, but yeah, I learned to accept.
He's no longer a Red Wings fan. He's a Pens fan now.
No, I wouldn't say that.
Now that they're no good, look at him rooting for the Pens.
Well, I would usually at this point ask for the recap, but I guess we can go right into it. The defending champion was Montana. They beat Montana State. If I remember, did they beat Montana State in the final? I want to say, hold on, let me look this up.
Didn't they lose to Northern Colorado?
Usually,
they beat North Colorado.
Yes, Northern Colorado in the final. They won 3 games in 3 nights. They beat Northern Arizona. They beat Idaho. Then they beat Northern Colorado. Northern Colorado was the one that dethroned Montana State. Montana State was going for, I believe, a 4-peat because they had caught Magic with Sprinkles last year and then and Logie as well. So Montana,
Sprinkles.
the other, yeah, what's that?
Sprinkles.
Oh yeah, Sprinkles, baby, sprinkle. But yeah, let's talk about it, and we'll lead it off here with a veteran coach in this.
Yeah, I will say before we jump in, we do have one new coach to the league, I believe, and that is Mike Bibby at Sacramento State.
Yeah,
should be interesting. But yeah, a lot of really solid coaches in this league. I do like, this is a MAC league.
Oh yeah, culture league, baby. I can
Mac as in Moneyline Mac, not like the Mid-America guy.
Yeah, I'm all over this league. I enjoy, and I like that in this league because they play a lot of their games on Thursday nights and they play them late. So I get a lot of eyeballs on this in that late Thursday night window, and then they do play late as shit on Saturday too. So yeah, let's go Big Sky. Yeah, let's lead it off here. Speaking of which, Dan Monson coming over from Long Beach last year. He was at EW, or last year was his first year at EW, 10-22. A little bit of disappointing just from where EW had been in the past. But you look at him, I mean, this guy's got 455 wins. He's the one that kind of got Gonzaga started before Mark Few took it to another level in the late 90s. Yeah, I mean, he got fucked at Long Beach State. He comes over to EW year 2. Noah, what do we think of these Eagles?
Yeah, so just looking at the Torvik stats we've got here, Eastern Washington has the most experienced roster in the preseason of the Big Sky, so that is immediate plus there. They do return a couple of guys, and I got to pull up my sheet here. 1 second. My apologies. Again, this terrible prep by me, a little bit scrambled. I
mean, look at all that return. Look at they are what they're fifth in returning production according to Torvik. They are the oldest team from the experience metric.
Yeah. They return Andrew Cook, who played 29.5 minutes a game last year. He's a 6'4" grad senior guard who put up 16 points, 3.5 boards, 2 assists per game. Shot at 54.5% from the field, did a lot of his damage from inside the arc. And they're going to have him kind of step out on the wing. And Isaiah Moses, the UC Riverside transfer, comes in. He averaged 3 dimes a game last year in 26.5 minutes for the Highlanders, averaged 12 points per game, 2 boards, and shot 4.5 threes attempted per game at a 36.5% clip. So that's a really nice duo in the backcourt here. Tyler Powell returns. He's a 6'5" redshirt senior guard who played 18 minutes a game last year. Emmett Marquardt is a 6'9" redshirt sophomore, played 23 minutes a game last year, averaged 9 and 4.5, and shot 36.5% from deep on 3 attempts per game, 49.5% from the floor. Elijah Thomas returns after playing 14.5 minutes. Angela Winkle returns. He's a 6'8" senior forward who played 8.5 minutes a game last year. And Shamba Goy returns after his redshirt freshman year, playing 4 minutes a game. Pretty good transfer class as well. You look at Kyrie Hui, who comes in from Miami, Florida, to round out that front court. He's a 6'9" grad senior, played 9 minutes a game for the Hurricanes last season. Really nice piece from the Power 5 ranks there. And then Johnny Radford is an NAIA transfer from the College of Idaho. They won the NAIA National Championship last year. Also, Stratton Rogers comes in from that same school. They really hit the state of Idaho hard because JoJo Anderson comes in from Idaho in conference transfer. So sound off the gunshots if Colby was here. But he's a redshirt senior guard who's 6 feet tall. Played 15 minutes a game last year for the Vandals. And then from Lewis Clark State, where the NAIA College World Series for baseball is held, Alton Hamilton IV comes in. He's a 6'8" junior forward who was a dog there. Played 32.5 minutes a game, averaged 17.5 points, 10.5 rebounds, shot at 55.5% from the floor. Eastern Washington overall, I really like this backcourt here. Kyrie Hui, the Miami, Florida get, is a really nice piece. It's just how much does Dan Monson have left in the tank for me that I am unable to calculate. You know, first year at Eastern Washington, 6-12, 10-22 overall. How much do we have left here? That's biggest question for me with Eastern Washington this season.
Yeah, this one, Eastern Washington wasn't super deep on my notes here. I mean, getting Andrew Cook back really helps. I really like the Moses kid from UC Riverside. Pretty big pickup. Their biggest issue is they kind of stunk on defense, and they're kind of predicted to still stink on defense. So this is really a lot of what Noah said. If Dan Monson can get this transfer class to maybe buy in a little bit, they might be able to do a little bit better than last year. But still, this is somewhat of a late roster construction too. This might be a team that is more of a late season spread covering bet than starting off right away without gelling. I know they only had 7 or 8 dudes on their roster until, I don't know, 45, 55 days ago. It's very late, but that's college basketball now, I guess.
Yeah, I'll say maybe they could push for middle of the pack here. Just because of Munson's track record. They did, I think they lost 6 or 7 in a row to end the year last year. So they really ran out of gas, stumbled down the stretch with their depth. So I think Monson can take a little bit of a step, but I don't think that they're going to crack in this top tier of this league.
Yeah, and for what it's worth, like judging a lot of these teams, there's not a whole lot of teams that return a lot of minutes. There's only one team that returns over half of their minutes from a season ago. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be, a lot relies on coaching, and that's my biggest question here.
All right, up next we got Alex Pribble coming over here at Idaho. Pribble headed into his 3rd year at Idaho. He was at St. Martin's at the Division II ranks. He was really good there. Went to a Sweet 16, round of 32. A nice step last year, going from 11 to 14 wins, also jumping up to almost 500 in league play. So now the question is, can they take another step where they went from year 1, a nice jump to year 2? Can they take a jump in year 3 with all this returning production, Noah?
I think they can. And I think that the returning production is going to be able to help them another year in this system. Last year, they finished dead last in defensive efficiency on KenPom in this conference, but they were 4th in offensive. And that's kind of been Pribble's background, I do believe, is the offensive side of the game. And this was a team that I was relatively positive on the outlook last year. And they did kind of meet that positive expectation. And I think they can take another step forward. They've got some really good shooting here. Colton Mitchell played 30.5 minutes a game last year, averaged 3.5 assists, but also took 4.5 3-pointers a game and made them at a 34% clip. Christian Gonzalez comes back. He's a junior 6'3" guard who also took 4.5 3-pointers attempted last year and made him at a 35% clip. Jack Payne is the big name here for me. 6'6" redshirt junior last year, averaged 11 and 5 with 2 assists, over a steal per game as well. He shot the 3-ball 36% on 4.5 attempts per game. Tyler Linhart is a 6'7" senior forward who also returns, only played 17.5 minutes a game last year. He can also step out and shoot the 3. And then you got Brody Robery, who transfers in from Southeastern Louisiana, expected to fill in at that 5, and that's huge. He's a 6'11" piece who's a senior, played 27.5 minutes a game last year in the Southland, averaging 8.5 points per game, 5.5 boards, and shooting at 53% from the floor. Also talking about returners, Trevon Blassingame didn't play last year, but in 2023-24 season, he put up 21 minutes a game, shot at 40.5% from deep. Isaiah Brickner played 11.5 minutes a game last year. He's a 6'4" senior. Titus Yerote played 11 minutes a game last year. Miles Clapper played 10.5 minutes a game last year. And then the final 2 transfers on this team, Seth Jabba from Vermont, a 6'9" junior forward, and Biko Johnson transfers in from D2 Fort Lewis. He's a 6'2" senior guard who played 27.5 minutes a game last year, averaging 16 points, 4 boards, 2.5 assists, 2.5 steals per game at the Division II ranks. For me, depth in the front court is a little bit worrisome. I love Jack Payne, and I love the shooting potential of this team. The offense is going to be good once again. I like their positional size for this league as well. So I think the defense should be able to take a little bit of step up, and they won't finish in the basement. I really like this Idaho team. I think they're contending for a regular season title this year.
Yeah, Noah stealing all my notes. I mean, with Mitchell Gonzalez and Payne, all double-digit scores, you get them all back. This is a 3-point attempts over bet team. If you can ever find that kind of a market for college basketball, they bomb them. My other one little note that I had was this is maybe, probably, possibly the best offense in this league, but not really to spoil anything. This is a high-tier team for me this year. I think they're going to be competing for a title for sure. yeah, just being able to shoot the ball at the clip that they do in a league like this, there's going to be games that they kind of look like they're setting the world on fire, I feel like. So got to look out for the Vandals.
Yeah, they ranked behind Northern Colorado, Montana offensively last year, and they bring back all this production. So yeah, this is a contender. With what they've been able to do with Pribble here too, taking a step from year 1 to year 2, they should take a step in year 3 and out of the 18 game slate, this should be a 12-6 type of team, I think, in this Big Sky. So yeah, I'm buying the Vandals as well. There's a lot to like here with all this returning production. And I was looking at it, I think they lost 7 out of their 10 league games by single digits. So like they easily, if they can get on the right side of some of these 1-score games with another year in the system, this team's definitely going to take a jump. Let's go over to the Bengals. The Bengals of Idaho State. Ryan Looney, good coach. This guy, I'm a fan of his program. You can see
he's an NAIA guy, right?
Yeah, 398 and 244. The Division II and NAIA guy. So
okay.
He was good at Seattle. He was good at Eastern Oregon. Then he Point Loma as well. So yeah, he's been around the block. He's never won a natty. He I think his last year at Point Loma, they lost in the championship. Yeah, they lost it. They were the national runner-up. And the Bengals cracked the top 4 last year for the first time in his tenure there. So he's been able to slowly build this program up. They were horrible when he got there. I think this guy's like I said, this is a kind of guy I just blindly bet come league play to find a way to still keep his team competitive, even with all the stuff he lost. So, Noah, what do you think of these Bengals?
Yeah, like you said, it's been a slow climb. I feel like a lot of that's been like development from within the program. And he's going to have to do that again this year, in my opinion, with a lot of NAIA incomers. And there is a D2 expected starter as well. Specifically in that backcourt, you got a couple of seniors coming in from NAIA level, which I'm not one to hate on NAIA. I played baseball in the NAIA, so I respect it. But it is a step up. And the Big Sky, I think, is a quality league with some really good coaching. So you're looking at Jameson Guerra and Gus Atchison. Guerra comes in from Oregon Tech, averaged 6 assists a game last year. So that's a huge piece, probably going to be more of a distributor on this team this year. And Atchison could be one of your downhill scorers, but he's a small guard. He only is 5'11", and he put up 20 points per game, averaged 3.5 boards, 3 assists per game, but he doesn't really shoot it from deep. So that's a big question mark that I have with him. Lachlan Brewer comes over from Sacramento State, little in-conference transfer as well. Last year as a freshman, he played 27 minutes a game, shot at 44.5% from deep. There's your big shooting piece. Quinn Patterson transfers in from UC San Diego. He only played 5 minutes a game last year. And another NAIA transfer from Lewis Clark State, Kaysen Carpenter. He's a senior, but he only played 8 minutes a game for LCS last year. So your big returners are Connor Holenbeck, who is a 6'7" grad forward, played 28 minutes a game last year, averaged 9 and 4, shot the 3-ball 40% from a season ago. Evan Otten is a 6'11" redshirt sophomore who played 22.5 minutes a game last year, averaged 5.5 points, 5.5 boards. Blake Dabercow played 11.5 minutes a game last year, and then Jaden Brown played 5 minutes a game last year. 2 JUCO newcomers, Trey Arland, a 6'7" junior forward who averaged 21.5 points per game, 6 boards, 5 assists. And then you have Sheikh Sao, who JUCOrecruiting.com ranked him as the number 28 incomer, a JUCO transfer. He averaged 13 points per game, 7.5 boards, 2 assists, and he's also coming in. But like overall, I'm not quite sure what the identity of this team is going to be. I think they're going to struggle offensively. Idaho State wasn't tremendous defensively last year. They finished 5th, and I think it's going to take a step back this year with a lot of the newcomers, and overall just one returning starter. So I have a few questions about this team. I loved Idaho State last year, but they just lose quite a bit, and none more than like Dylan Darling and Jake O'Neill from last year. So I have Idaho State taking a pretty sizable step back.
Yeah, I might even agree with Matt in the chat of Idaho State dead last. Here they come. I know Mac likes Looney as a coach, but this seems like the year after the good year, and they kind of have to rebuild again. I do like Evan Otten, kind of gives them a little bit of rim protection and whatnot in this league, but I see them definitely taking a step back like Noah, and yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them kind of in the basement, sadly. Not to harp on a team or, hate on anybody. There's too many questions for me right now with this team.
There definitely are a lot of question marks, but I think there's some question marks at other programs at the coaching spot. So I trust Looney that he knows what kind of player he needs to win in this Big Sky. I mean, this is his 8th year in the league. So I trust him not to let the bottom fall out. I could see them finishing around 7th or 8th. I mean, that's kind of been the floor after his first couple of years here. So
we mentioned it for Idaho. Got to mention it for Idaho State. Least experienced roster according to Torvik in the preseason here for the conference.
Yeah, no, they're young, so this could be a team that comes on and they're chippy late in the year. So.
I don't know if they're necessarily like young, but it's just a lot of inexperience at the D1 level.
At the D1, because Torvik doesn't equate for NAIA,
D2, the NAIA guys, JUCO.
That's the one loophole in his experience rankings is if you're getting guys from other programs.
I do think it should be valued at some point, though. Like jumping from the D2 to the Big Sky is a pretty good leap.
Oh, yeah.
I will say McCollum and Drake guys didn't have an issue. So
yeah, but there's a difference for like bringing your entire team that only lost like 5 games the year prior.
There is. They're not like freshmen, so that's where that thing can be a little misleading. All right, let's pay the bills real quick, and then we will touch on the rest of the teams in the Big Sky. But download the SGPN app in your app store with free access to all our SGPN picks and podcasts. We're also brought to you by MyBookie, mybookie.ag. Is your place to bet on basketball and everything else. Their prop builder is second to none. Their motto is bet on anything, anywhere, anytime. Easy deposit and lightning fast payouts using crypto. So head over there to mybookie.ag. Use our promo code TCESGPN for a 100% deposit bet back bonus up to $500 for new customers. That's mybookie.ag, promo code TCESGPN. We're also brought to you by NoVig. NoVig is America's #1 sports betting market, getting you the best prices everywhere. They got great juice over there. You can get -103 type odds. I see the Eagles over there on Thursday Night Football against the Giants. They're offering that at 103. NoVig is available in 35+ states. Download that NoVig app and get $50 when you spend $5 if you use our promo code SGPN. Get in on the action with NoVig promo code SGPN. Next up on the dock, speaking of good coaches, we head to the defending champion Montana Grizzlies. It had been a minute since Travis DeCuire had won a championship at Montana. I think it was a 6-year drought, but they get it done. He's never had a losing season out there with the Grizz. He's headed into year number 12 now. 3 NCAA tournaments. Last year was a magical year, going 15-3, winning the tournament, getting to the dance before being knocked off by Wisconsin. I know they lose a lot, but they don't lose that much compared to everybody else. But this is a program you kind of just blindly trust from the Tinkle days now to DeCuire. They will be in the top 4 again like they always are.
Oh, 100%. I think they're returning the best player in the conference in Money Williams, and they surround him with some, I would say, upper league transfers. You've got a Minnesota transfer in Caden Betts, a 6'8" redshirt junior forward who only played 5 minutes a game last year. Courtney Anderson Jr., a 6'5" redshirt sophomore wing who comes in from Colorado. He only played 4 games for the Buffaloes last year. And then Brooklyn Hicks comes in from UNLV. He played 20 minutes a game last year with not a lot of production. So a couple of big-time gambles there, but if 1 hits, 2 hits, now you got a really nice piece next to Money Williams, and you've got a really good point guard, I think the best one in the conference, with a couple of good wings possibly, and then Tajon Sawyer, who's a grad senior at your 5 spot, who's a 6'8" forward, played 24 minutes a game last year, averaged 9.5 points, 4 boards, shot at 40.5% from 3, 57.5% from the floor. I think that makes up 3 or 4 spots of your starting 5 that are very, very solid. I'm more willing to bank on a couple of guys stepping down in leagues than stepping up in a division level or 2. You also have Amari Jedkins returning. He played 9 minutes a game last year for the Grizz. And then a couple of JUCO D2 transfers coming in. Tyler Isaac from Citrus Junior College put up 18.5 points per game, 6 boards, 2.5 assists. He's a 6'4" junior wing. Grant Kepley is a redshirt sophomore. He's a 6'4" junior wing coming in from Western Washington. He averaged 14.5, 5, and 4 with over a steal per game as well. Shot at 45% from 3. And then a D2 transfer from Chico State, Trey Taylor, who played 28 minutes a game, averaged 13 and 6, and shot at 73.5% from the floor as a 6'9" big man. He's a senior. I like I said, that potential starting 5, and some of the D2 JUCO gets, they're kind of specialty guys. I don't think they're being relied on a ton, but they can come off the bench and knock down a shot or 2 if you need them to. So Montana, I have them in the top half of the league as well. And if everything clicks, this could be a tournament title contender, I think.
Oh yeah, this is a roster that you look at and you think the ceiling is pretty high. The first thing we should talk about, though, when it comes to Montana, did you see them announce their football jerseys for this coming week?
No. Are they nice?
They're copper, gold, and silver, and they are beautiful. They are some of the best football jerseys I've ever seen. Whatever the line is, I'm taking Montana. Those things are awesome. But this basketball team, like you said, Noah, the chances of 1 or 2 of those transfers hitting really give you don't need them to be the number 1 guy. I really like Tajon Sawyer's game. I mean, outside, we know Money Williams is a baller, and anybody named Money is what you're looking for. But yeah, this is definitely a high tier team in this league and competing for the NCAA tournament berth, I would think, for sure.
Cosign. Yeah, Money Williams is awesome. Could be player of the year this year. Then you got a bunch of guys transferring down from the high major level. Yeah, I trust DeCuire as well, man. He'll find a way. They will be right there in the mix at the end. I said top 4. They'll be in the top 2 probably for me.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. I always trust Montana in this league. Another program I usually trust is Montana State here. Coach Logie coming over here, year number 3. They haven't been that great in the regular season. They finished 5th back-to-back years. You can see it 17, 18, 15, and 18. At 29-4 was his last year at Point Loma, where Looney came over from as well with Idaho State. So I think Logie's a good coach, a young and rising coach. He got to the NCAA tournament in year number 1, as you can see that picture right there. But they have been middle of the pack both years. Can they crack the top 4 in the regular season? We know the postseason success. Can they bring back a dominant regular season like they had under Sprinkle?
I'm not quite sure because they only return 1 starter, and they're kind of dipping into that portal bunch. They've got quite a few guys taking a jump or a step down into the Big Sky from some higher qualified conferences. You got Christian King, a 6'8" redshirt sophomore forward who only played 9 minutes a game last year for Wisconsin. But you'll see with a lot of these guys, they've got some potential from deep because this kid as a big man shot 38.5% from 3. You got Chris Hodges, a 6'9" graduate senior forward. comes in from Wisconsin as well. Didn't play a whole lot last year. And Waka Bach from Florida State, a 6'10 junior big man who only played 3.5 minutes a game for the Seminoles last year. And a 6'8 big man who his freshman year barely saw the floor at Colorado State in Jaden Stepp. Those guys are going to make up your front court, which I think that's pretty good and something that I would feel willing to bet on. Jed Miller and Patrick McMahon are your returners from last season. McMahon played 23.5 minutes a game from last year, averaged 10 points, 3.5 boards, over an assist per game, shot at 51% from the floor. And Jed Miller played 18 minutes a game last year and shot at 32% from deep on limited attempts. So he's a 6'2 senior guard. I like some of the experience on this roster as well, because you've got a couple of D2 upperclassmen transferring in that they're going to rely on a bunch this season. Calvin Holden averaged 4 assists a game last year at D2 Central Washington, and he took almost 6.5 three-pointers a game at a 44% clip, was 47.5% from the floor, averaged 15 points, 3.5 boards. Their offense, they're aiming to run around Holden, which, again, I'm a little bit skeptical on how well it's going to translate, because this guy seems like a solo dominant offensive player where he's going to be ball dominant. He's going to shoot a lot. And we'll see how that plays at a higher up conference. Davian Brown comes in from D2 Biola. He's a 6'3 graduate senior, played 33 minutes a game, averaged 15.5, 5 boards, 2.5 assists, shot at 35% from 3 on 5 attempts per game. And then you've got a JUCO transfer from Dawson Community College, Seth Amonrud, who put up 21 points per game, 5.5 boards, 3.5 assists. Overall, you've got some D2 stat stuffers, some gambles in the front court from some upper tier schools. It's a roster that I think is going to finish in the top half, but I'm not quite as bullish on that backcourt stepping into the Big Sky here.
See, I like Holden and Brown. This is one of the schools that I feel like they have a chance to have a little bit of a high ceiling with the transfers, but this kind of falls into what we were talking about with Torvik. They've got a bunch of the step down guys, so the Torvik transfer kind of favors those dudes that were at bigger programs. But the issue with me for this Montana State team is I think they're going to struggle early, and they might be a team that this entire transfer team comes together a little bit later in the season. They're pretty firmly in the mid-tier for me, and I really don't know if you would consider it a step forward or a back. I think I see kind of a bit of the same.
Well, both years under Logie have been 9-9, so I think they take a little bit of a step forward, maybe like a 10-8, maybe 11-7. Because I think they're a little bit more talented than they've been over the last 2 years, but I don't think that they're I shouldn't say contender because the margins are small in this league, but I don't think they're going to win the regular season. All righty. Northern Arizona, the Lumberjacks, baby. Shane Burcar here. This is Colby's program. He loves talking about Northern Arizona.
I remember buying into them. I don't know if it was last year or the year prior, but like I was really high on them and they let me down too. So
yeah, they always let everybody down. I will say the last couple years have been better.
Yes.
They've slowly, steadily have been rising this program. They went from 9th to 7th to 6th. They're cracking on the door. Can they finally get over the hump here and be over 500 in league play, Noah?
I don't know. I don't think so, because now that I think about it, it was last year because they were starting 5 upperclassmen. Trent McLaughlin was the star, averaged 22 points per game, shot at 34.5% from deep on almost 8.5 attempts per game. And then Carson Tout, the 6'8 big man who averaged 13.5 and 12.5. Like, those are 2 huge pieces that you're losing along with the rest of your starting 5. So it's kind of a retooling, rebuilding roster here at Northern Arizona. And I'm not quite as high on Burcar if he wasn't able to win with last year's roster. So we'll see what happens here with some guys that are stepping into larger roles. I'm looking at Oakland Fort and Ryan Abelman, both of them senior guards in that backcourt last year that only played about 17 minutes a game. Fort did average almost 2 assists per game a season ago, and Abelman shot at 39.5% from deep. But again, a lot more on their plate this year. Then you got the 6'10 senior forward, Lay Rickwood Pitt, who only played 10.5 minutes a game last year, shot at 58% from the floor in limited attempts, but also he's going to have to step into a bigger role. I do like some of the transfer gets they bring in. Arne Oshunik, that no way that I pronounced that correctly, but he transfers in from Eastern Michigan. Yes, the program hasn't been great, but that was honestly their best season last year and quite a bit. And he was a big reason for it. He shot 33% from deep on 4 attempts per game. He's a 6'6 junior wing, played 26.5 minutes a game last year, averaged 7.5 and 3.5. I really like that piece. And then you have Isaiah Shaw coming in from Valpo, who's a 6'8 redshirt junior, can step out and shoot the 3 ball as well, but he only played 13 minutes a game last year. Carl Marcus Poom is a San Francisco transfer, didn't see the floor much his freshman year. Kayvon Bradford is a Buffalo transfer who only played 11 minutes a game his freshman year. Traviar Jackson is a Grand Canyon transfer who didn't play a whole lot last season. Walker Timmy is a 6'7 redshirt sophomore, transfers in from Southern Idaho, averaged 10.5 points per game, 4.5 boards, 1.5 assists. Northern Arizona, to me, if I liked Burcar enough, I would say they could finish in the middle of the pack of this league, but I'm not going to predict that. I think this team takes a slight step back and finishes in the bottom half here.
Yeah, I'm a little bit clueless on this roster. Not really too many guys that, couldn't even really find too many highlights. I like the fact that Oakland Fort kind of knows how to run the offense. He doesn't really statistically look like he's a great guy to have return, but I think that it's a little bit important to have that. Outside of that, I'm really not sure, and Noah brings up a good point about Burcar. If last year's roster wasn't able to bust through the door for him, then I'm a little worried, specifically the fact that the top tier of this league is pretty dang good.
I got him in the middle. I'll go year after the year. Last year, they did get a lot of hype. I remember them being on the episode, us being like, this team should be good, but we need to see it from Burcar. The bottom didn't fall out, but it was a little bit underwhelming. Give me middle of the pack, more the same. I could see around a 500 finish here in the Big Sky. They still fit. I mean, they still have the second most returning minutes, the second oldest team in this league, even with losing some of those pieces.
But last year they had all of that as well. They were all seniors. They had
expectations though last year.
They didn't even go 500 though.
I know it was expectations. Everybody was crowning them. That they were the dark horse by everybody last year. Year after the year. Give me this. This could be a good year for the old Lumberjacks here.
Mac's gonna have everybody in the entire Big Sky at 500 or better.
I think you're a little crazy here. I'm going to call you out on this one at the end of the year.
I will say if you look,
set a reminder on this one, Noah.
Colby got burned 2 years ago. I got burned last year.
Walking on the hot coals.
You're going to get burned this year.
Everyone's got to walk on the hot coals of Northern Arizona.
Have you looked at the projected records in the Big Sky? Everybody's between 7-11 and 11-7.
This kind of makes sense.
Where are you finding the projected records?
Go. It's where's it at? It's if you go under just Big Sky Conference tab.
Yeah.
And then you go. It's like adjusted offense, defense.
Yeah.
Barthag, and then it goes projected, and then the second tab is the record.
All right.
And they're all look at them. They're all projected between 11-7 and 7-11.
Sure.
Hilarious. I tell you, this league is going to be a shit show.
That's like the perfect thing to statistically do to make sure that you can, the margin of error was only 15% on our projections this year.
Hey, the fact that we're talking about Idaho, the Vandals, potentially as the favorite, and that shows you how wide open this goddamn league is.
Oh, don't say that about the Vandals.
They need to prove it to me.
The Potato Warriors. What do you mean they need to prove it to you? They proved it more to you last year than Northern Idaho finished 8-10 last year with Northern Arizona with less returning production and everything.
You don't understand when these programs that never win have expectations, they shit the bed. The Vandals could be that candidate this year. Get over there to Underdog Fantasy. Great place to play fantasy pick'em where you can win up to 500 times your entry. Simply pick higher, lower on your favorite player sets, available for a ton of sports. So get on over there to Underdog. Got a new brand offer for new customers. Play 5 and get 100 in bonus funds when you use our sign-up code TCESGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Rhythm's crushing in college football and NFL with the picks. 8-2 in the NFL Week 5, 5-0 with Dylan Gabriel props. Take that, Shador. Rhythm is also giving away weekly cash prizes. Just tracking your bets in the app. Track 5 bets on the same type from any model you build, and you can win $1,000. Use the promo code SGPN25 when you download the Rhythm for 25% off your first month. Download the Rhythm and use the promo code SGPN25. All right, Bienick and Troy, we are back. The Northern Colorado Golden Bears, baby. Steve Smiley doing a good job. He is on the Jeff Linder tree. What year is this for Smiley? Sorry, switching over tabs. Smiley is now in year number 6. Last 2 years have been really good for this program. 27 combined wins in league play. You can see on youtube.com/college experience slides, 44 wins in 2 years. And then you look at 4 years ago. So 3 out of 4 years here, finishing in the top 3, winning 12-plus league games. Last year, they tied for the regular season. He's a good coach. Yeah, this is a guy that I think could be in line if they have another pretty solid year and maybe win the Big Sky with how open it is. He could be a guy that could get maybe like a Mountain West gig like Linder did with Wyoming. So, potentially 3 straight years of 20 wins or 19, I guess, a couple years ago. He runs a good program. They have an identity here out in Greeley.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And coming off of that 2023 team, the one that had Dalton Connect, like just under Smiley,
hilarious.
they've had some really alpha scores. If you know what it, like 1 or 2 guys that the offense is just going to run through in 85% of their possessions, right? So in 2023, they go 12-20, and they finish 6-12 in conference.
With Connect, right?
With Connect.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I don't know about this year. They're saying a lot about this St. Thomas kid, and I don't know. I just gotta I have to see it because I don't think that they're going to have another one of these Connects, another one of these Dalton Dalen Kuntz. Like they've just birthed these 20-point per game scores every single year. And then what do you know? St. Thomas rolls around and he's an absolute dog. And he transfers to USC. And then last year, I was just like, I don't know. I don't see another one of these guys for Steve Smiley that is going to step in. And then you have Isaiah Hawthorne, who put up 17 points per game, and Langston Reynolds, who put up 16 points per game. So it wasn't like a 20-point per game score, but they had 2 like really good knockdown shooters and just stat sheet stuffers that were like putting up 20 points every other game. So again, when you look at the returning production of this Steve Smiley group, you don't have that necessarily alpha scorer. Brock Wisney did put up 10.5 points per game, but he didn't really shoot it from deep last year. Only 22.5% from 3. He doesn't take a ton of them, but he was 61% from the field. So is he going to be the guy? Or you've got these 2 graduate seniors in the backcourt. Zach Block, who on the wing last year took 4.5 threes a game at a 36% clip, but he only played 26 minutes a game and averaged 6 points per game. Or Quinn Danker, who shot 37% from 3 on only 3 attempts per game, and he only averaged 7 points per game in 21.5 minutes. Both of their roles are going to expand. Both of them shot it at a pretty good clip last year, but we haven't necessarily seen it in this system, them be the guy. This year, I'm going to be a little bit bullish and bank that one of these guys steps up. You also have Vincent Delano, who in his freshman year at Portland was pretty good at just being a distributor when he was on the floor. 23 minutes a game, he averaged 2 assists. He was able to be scrappy on the glass as well, averaging 2.5 rebounds per game. And then you have Ibu Yamazaki, a Radford transfer, who is a 6'7" junior forward, played 21 minutes a game, averaged 6 and 2.5, and shot at 37% on 2 3-pointers attempted per game. 2 other transfers coming in that might fill in some rotation spots. Ring Yeri, a UMKC transfer, played 13 minutes a game last year, and Chancellor White, a 6'6" junior, played 9 minutes a game last year for Louisiana. And then 2 other guys that are holdovers from last season, Egan Shields and William Humer. But I'm going to be bullish on Northern Colorado, even though there's not necessarily a lot to be bullish on. But these offenses just hum for Smiley. Last year, they finished as the best offense in this conference, and it didn't have a whole lot of returning production. So I'm willing to put some more faith into this team. Last year, they were pretty good defensively as well. So Northern Colorado, I'm going to be tentative, but I think they're a top 4 team in this conference. I think they're going to contend for a title this year.
Yeah, this is my MAC team of this Big Sky Conference. Just I think the program foundational piece has been pretty much solidified, and you got to think Smiley getting 1 game away really wants that tournament berth real bad. And I like that Noah is doing the reverse of the Mac and Colby and has seen the hot coals that he's walked over 2 or 3 times and has decided to not do it again. No, I think this is a top tier team. I don't necessarily know if this is a guaranteed top 2 or 3 or something like that, but I've got 4 teams that are pretty solid in my top tier, and I think that they're one of those teams for sure. Smiley just gets it done.
They have an
identity. Go wrong returning 3 starters that are 3 seniors that played 20 plus minutes a game from the previous year. That's hard to find.
Exactly, and why they were able to just get better when Dalton Connect left is they have an identity year after year offensively. They do a really good job of sharing the ball and making shots from the perimeter at all positions. We played them 1 year at a bye game in West Virginia, and they were a pain in the ass to play against. So yeah, Smiley and Linder was the coach, and Smiley was associate head coach at the time. So he's been with this program for a decade, whether it was the associate head coach or now the head coach. He also won 77% of his games at the JUCO level for 6 years. So another JUCO guy that's been able to win in this era of rebuilding a team year after year. So yeah, I will. Northern Colorado contender for me. Coach Coburn out there with Portland State. Last year was a breakthrough year for these Vikings. They jumped up to 3rd place in the league, went 11-7. He's done a nice job, all things considered. Hovered around 500, 7th place, 6th place, and then last year, like I said, jumped up into 3rd. He also is associate head coach. He's been with Portland State since 2013. Also a former JUCO guy as well. I think Portland State, once again, I know from a returning production, they don't return anything, but it seems like Coburn has an identity in this program of toughness.
Yeah, I think Torvik might be a little bit off on that one because they do return Jalen Henderson, who played 32.5 minutes a game last year, 13 points, 4 boards, and shot 33% from 3 on 5.5 attempts from deep. Terry Miller Jr. is also a returning senior. This is probably where Torvik got it wrong. These are 2 guys that have an extra year because of the Diego Pavia ruling, where if you play junior college, so that's probably what it is. Because I think both of these guys are JUCO guys. You have Terry Miller Jr., who's a 6'8" senior, played 21.5 minutes a game last year, averaged 12 points, 5.5 boards, 2 assists, and he was efficient when he shot it, 51.5%. And then Trey Vaught-Minot rounds out that front court. Last year, he played 22.5 minutes a game, averaged 7.5 and 7.5 on 67% shooting. They have they have 3 incoming transfers to try to fill in this backcourt, because that's where they have a couple of losses from last season. And Queant Myers, I forget the last name, so many names, and then Isaiah Johnson, 2 starters that they're losing, and they're going to have to replace some of the production in this backcourt here. The big name is Sebastian Tidor. He's a 6'5" redshirt junior who is ranked 77th according to JUCOrecruiting.com in the transfer portal. He averaged 22.5 points per game, 6.5 boards, 3 assists at Rome State last season. You also have a Arizona State transfer who didn't play a whole lot last year. Previously in his career, also spent some time with Houston Christian, Bryson Long, 6'2" grad senior guard. And they're also going to mix in Isaiah Williams from the D2 Academy of Art. He's a graduate senior 6'7" guard who had 2 assists per game, 5 boards, 14.5 points per game. Was able to shoot it well last year as well. And then Keon Kenzie, a 6'7" wing. Mose Downing Rivers, a 6'6" wing. They come in from San Diego and Missouri State, respectively. Another San Diego get was the 6'11" Keon Webb. His freshman year, he played 14.5 minutes a game for the Toreros and shot at 56.5% from the floor. And then Charles Chukwu rounds out the transfer portal he comes in from Little Rock. Didn't play a whole lot last year. Started his career at Tulsa. So really good front court. Backcourt is kind of like a wait and see for me. Coburn made some really good strides with last year's team, and overall has a very experienced squad returning this season. Portland State, I got more in like the middle of the pack. A little bit of a wait and see on that backcourt because I don't know if they've got a point guard this year, and guards win in March. So,
yeah, I really like Henderson and Miller. They finally meet expectations, or kind of surpass them last year. Is this a candidate, Mac, for the school with expectations coming in, and maybe it gets to them a little bit?
Yeah, they could I think they take a little bit of a step back. But, I mean, he did a great job last year.
Yeah, I mean, if there's expectations on Portland State, that's been
you're doing a good job.
Yeah, yeah. 100%. I just think that starts to bring them into the category of, you learn how to win, and then you learn how to win with expectations. There's two different steps.
I co-sign. Torvik is way off on these returning productions because I'm looking at the rosters now. I mean, he's bringing back 2 impact guys that helped him win 19 games last year. So I think they're middle of the pack. I think a little bit of a step back just because they did lose some key pieces off that 19-win team. But, yeah, I trust Coburn, man. Defensively, they're really good, and that's been their identity of the program. That travels year to year. All right, next up, Mike Bibby.
I love you well, because, yeah.
Yeah, Mike Bibby is the head coach at Sac State. They got a lot of money out there. Shaquille O'Neal, the general manager of this program. Mike Bibby has no head coaching experience. I know he's got some AAU and high school coaching experience, but I don't know. I think this will be a work in progress. Bienick, what's your take on this roster? And then I need to see it with this Mike Bibby experiment.
That's kind of how I am too. This is a wait and see approach for me as well. There may not be a team that I'm more excited to watch during the first week than these Hornets, because they're not spending like a team that wants to just wait and see how this works with Mike Bibby. They're spending like a team that has some faith in Mike Bibby that this thing's going to work out right away, hit the ground running. Because, it's a brand new team. And you look at Mikey Williams, who's been a huge name early on in his career, hasn't produced a whole lot. He comes in from UCF. Prophet Johnson's a big name. He's kind of been a couple of places in the mid-major ranks. Last year, he averaged 13.5 points per game, 7.5 boards, 2.5 assists, 2 steals per game at Fairfield. He's a 6'3" senior guard, probably one of if Mikey pans out, he might be your best player here. If not, Profit's probably your go-to guy. And then you got Janai Summers, who's a 6'6" junior forward who comes in from Indiana State, shot 38.5% from 3 last year in 16 minutes a game. Jeremiah Cherry is a 6'11" senior center who played 24 minutes a game, averaged 10 and 5 at UNLV. And then Brandon Gardner is a 6'8" redshirt sophomore, comes in from Arizona State, where he was a top 100 recruit out of high school as well. Taj Glover is a redshirt sophomore, transfers in from South Florida. Shakir O'Neal, because Shaquille is the general manager here.
Yeah.
Shakir transfers in from Florida A&M, where he only played 18 minutes a game last year, averaged 6.5 and 3.5. But he's the one that had the heart issue, right, in the preseason. So kind of slow off the ground for Shakir last season. Jaden Teat, a 6'1" redshirt sophomore, only played 4 minutes a game last year. 4 minutes a game 2 seasons ago at Utah. He didn't play last year. Armand Mahdi, a redshirt sophomore, 6'6" forward from Northern Arizona, also didn't play last season. From Stony Brook, Jeremiah Yarko, and Zach Anderson from Scottsdale Community College, 11.5 points per game, 3.5 boards, 2.5 assists. There's your roster. Actually, a couple of freshmen, Romari Robinson, Isaiah Bronson, and Mark Lavrinoff. But that's the roster. So it's a massive grab bag for me, and you've got an inexperienced head coach. I'm not quite sure how he's going to be able to sort of figure out rotations here. But if your 1-2 punch is Mikey Williams and Prophet Johnson, I kind of like it. But yeah, overall, I'm going to project this team finish in the bottom half. I think their sights are set much higher. And if they prove me wrong, I would love to see it because, like I said, this is one of the teams I'm most excited to watch in that first week of the year.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely still have to see what Bibby has to offer here. It's not like he's jumping into a league that's not pretty dang competitive. This is, I mean, the Big Sky is pretty tough at the top. We've already mentioned that, but I kind of have them as a jump up candidate just because of their talent in this league. This one is the could come back to bite me really bad, but I mean, Noah mentioned it. You roll in Mikey Williams and Prophet Johnson, you've got a pretty good chance to compete on a nightly basis for sure. We will see how Bibby gets this done, but with Mike Bibby and Shaq, that's the perfect. I mean, they rigged an entire NBA series between those two.
I know.
So they could be set up here where they've got their hands in the right money pots here. So I kind of have them in the middle of the pack here actually.
I mean, I know Bibby won some state championships at the high school level, but they were so much more talented than every other team. I don't know, man. Like I talent wise, they should be good, but they also have some guys that just didn't play college basketball last year. Like this is a fascinating team. They'll be in the bottom half for me. I need to see it from Bibby, but hey, I like the thinking outside the box and bringing in Shaq.
It's not quite your Will Wade McNeese State we're spending at a mid-major level. We're going to win right away. Yeah. It's more like I don't know if you can compare this to something else. This is relatively new in the college sports world. We'll see how it works out.
Look at Bibby's record. 0-0. I mean, he has not coached a game at the college basketball level yet.
He's not Will Wade.
Yeah, Will Wade had been to a Sweet 16 in multiple tournaments by the time he came back. So yeah, yeah. Oh, this fucking team. Weber State, Eric Duft, year number 4. This team killed me last year. Me and Colby. This program had been automatic pretty much every year. It felt like they would win 18 to 20, 24, 25 games every year. I think They had one losing season outside of last year in the last 15 years. This was a beyond disappointing year for Weber State. Bounce back on the culture here, Noah, or is Duff running this into the ground?
I think it might be a little bit of the latter, because you look at since he's taken over as the guy, 12 wins, 11 wins, and then last year 5, and he's underperformed Ken Palm expectations in the preseason in the last 2. Last year preseason they were 175th. They were a roster that you thought could win the league in the regular season, and they finished 300th in rating. So yeah, I guess I've gotten a little bit less bullish in just the program pedigree of Weber State under Coach Duft. Yeah. In saying that, he does have 3 guys returning that played 20 minutes a game last year. Trevor Hennig in his freshman year played 21 and a half minutes a game. He averaged 8 and 2 with over an assist per game, shot 45% from the floor. Viljami Vartanen. No way I got that name right, but he's a 6'6" junior wing, played 25 and a half minutes a game last year, averaged 9 and 2.5, shot at 40.5% from 3 on 5 attempts per game. He's probably the big piece of this offense this year, alongside Nigel Burris, who's a 6'7" senior forward, played 23 and a half minutes a game last year, averaged 6 and 5, shot 35.5% from 3. And then you've got 2 potential transfers from the D1 ranks that'll fit in possibly. Jace Whiting, who comes in from UNLV as a ball handling guard, a 6'3" junior who averaged 1.5 assists and 9 minutes a game for the Rebels last year, running Rebs. And then Tijan Sani, a D2 transfer from Western Washington, played 33 minutes a game, averaged 17.5 points, 3 boards, 4 assists, over a steal per game, shot at 39.5% from 3, 46.5% from the field. He's a 5'10" junior guard, though. So we'll see how that fits into the Big Sky. But overall, there's pretty good positional size on this team, because you look at a guy like Malik Gama, or Malik Gama, who's a 6'8" junior forward, transfers in from Seattle. He's probably your starting 5. Played 13.5 minutes a game last year for the Redhawks. And then you have a couple of freshmen with some size on this roster as well that'll have to step up, but there's questionable depth here. Overall, kind of a young core, and not quite sure we have a great point guard coming back from the roster a season ago, but also a couple of gambles from the portal. Specifically, this is more of a roster that's relying on development and kind of handpicking their guys, but their handpicked portal guys are not, in my opinion, for sure hits, and that's where I think I have some questions here. And yeah, I have Weber State kind of, I don't know, around the same spot as they finished last year, which I don't think that Weber fans would be very happy with that result.
No, and I kind of got blinded by the Duft support last year too. But if anything, the only thing you really have here is maybe his culture can get something done. They're going to really need somebody to step up to not be in the bottom tier again. I kind of agree with Noah. I mean, Nigel Burris is a candidate for that, I guess. But, man, this is, I would say, bleak for Weber State. Sad.
The 13 losses in league last year, 10 of them were by single digits. So they did lose a shitload of single, but like they just were soft. I watched that team over and over. I mean, Raw's teams before that were tough and found ways to win games. I mean, he won 70% of his league games in his 16 years there, 316 wins overall. I have Weber somewhere. They're not in the basement for me. They still have too much talent to be the basement, but I don't know. I don't trust Duft after what I saw last year and just kind of the downward trajectory of this program. So I'll say middle ish for Weber. I don't know where I'm going to end up with them. They're hard to gauge, man. Like, this program should be in the top 3 every year, like they were. All right, let's rank them.
We'll see.
Oh shit. There's a lot of moving parts in this fucking league. And number 10.
I'm going to go with Mac and I are going to completely disagree on this team, but I got Northern Arizona 10th.
Oh shit.
I think they lose the most production out of any team in the conference, and I don't have any faith in Burcar right now.
I've got Eastern Washington at number 10, actually.
I got Sac State.
So that's a Mac play if I've ever heard one. This guy's never coached before. He's finishing last for sure.
He's got guys that didn't even play college basketball last year. Yeah, they got some big names, Shaq's son, but like they got guys that.
I don't disagree that they're gonna. I have them predicted to finish in the bottom half of the conference. I think the talent gets them out of the 10 spot though.
Yeah, I can see this team quitting.
Be driving around.
I mean, I could too, but
Scat
I still think they
F-150s.
probably win some games in the league.
Well, everybody like last place, it might be like 6-12 or 5-13.
Yeah. I don't see this being like a what's his name at Green Bay season.
No.
So,
Bibby
I don't think it's that bad.
He actually has some talent. But yeah. Gottlieb didn't coach.
Oh yeah, shout out Huffer.
Gottlieb.
Huffer got to hang out with Gottlieb in the airport the other day.
Good old
Oh
Gottlieb.
yeah.
All right, 9, Noah.
9, I've got Idaho State. Bottom half team for me. They're rebuilding. I don't think it's going to be a great offense. I like the Bengals, and I think the program's heading in the right direction. But it's some growing pains. I got them 9th.
My 9th ranked team is Idaho State as well. They just have too much to rebuild after the kind of a way overperformed year.
I got E-Dub. Monson, I don't know what, like, he's kind of a dinosaur. I don't know if he's going to get this program going. So, yeah. Next up, 8.
Yeah, I've got Eastern Washington there. I honestly don't think that this roster's that bad. I think it's a really nice backcourt. But like I said it during the team preview portion, it's how much Munson's got left in the tank will depend on where this team goes.
My 8th team is Weber State. It seems very bleak for me. Got to keep them down there in that bottom part of the run.
I got my Bengals, man. I trust Looney, but there is a lot of question marks on that roster. So he'll get, like I said, he won't let the bottom fall out, but they'll finish 8th.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Weber State 7. They're missing a point guard. I'm not high on Duff. Last year they had a whole lot more returning, and it might have finished worse than this prediction. So, yeah.
My 7th team is where I've got Mr. Bibby and Shastilio Meal, Sac State here. I've got them just above that bottom tier because of the talent, but don't think that they're not like one slip up away from falling down into that.
Yeah, I got Weber. Duff. I'm not buying the Duff Kool-Aid. They need to prove it to me.
What number are we at now?
6.
6th, I have Sacramento State. I'm actually hoping that this works out because I want more of this in college basketball. Mikey Williams, Prophet Johnson, Mike Bibby, prove me wrong.
My 6th team is where I've got Northern Arizona. Just kind of solidly there in the middle, kind of a culture play, really.
I have Portland State here at 6. I like Coburn, but I think they take a little bit of step back after a great year. They won a ton of close games last year too. So yeah, give me Portland State at 6.
At 5, I have Portland State. For me, I think it's a really good experienced front court, they're just replacing a lot in that backcourt. And this is a team that's probably going to take a little bit of time. They might take some bumps and bruises early in November. And, we'll see. We'll see what happens come conference season. But I like the Vikings outlook this year.
I've got Montana State at 5. I think that out of all the transfer pickups, I think they've got a little bit of a chance to kind of hit the ceiling, just like Holden and Brown. So I've got them right there at that 5th spot out of 10.
All right, Burcar, he breaks into the top half here at 5. Let's go. Lumberjacks, the year after the year, everybody's out on them. I'm in on them.
You're crazy. 5, I've got, or we just did 5, right? So 4, Montana State. I think the front court's got some really nice high major gambles. They're just kind of repairing that backcourt, and I got them in the top half because I like the program pedigree. But 4 is the highest I could put them.
Yeah, 4 is where I have Portland State. I don't have them stepping back all the way to 6 like Mac, but I do think that there's a couple of teams that will finish above them here. They'll be a good team. That'll be one you have to look out for in this conference tournament for sure, though.
This is where I got the Bobcats as well. Logie and company, they finished 5th back-to-back years, 500. I think they get over 500. I got 4th, Montana State.
I have Montana 3rd. I think this team's going to be better in the second half of the season, especially come March. Money Williams, some Power 5 transfers. I like the skeleton bones of that team, and I think there's going to be some meat on the bone come March.
I've got Idaho 3rd. I like how they shoot the 3 ball. I kind of got to see how this version of bombing it up is going to play defense together, but I do think that their ability to shoot at that high clip is going to have them contending here in the top 3.
Yeah, this is also where I got Idaho. I can't get them in the top 2 just yet. I need to see it from Pribble. He's still a young coach, up and coming. I think the other 2 will use the non-con to get their programs right like they always do.
2, I'm going to go Northern Colorado. They returned 3 starters that played 20-plus minutes a season ago, and Smiley's offense is just work. They just do. So I got the Bears second.
Yeah, number 2 for me is where I've got Northern Colorado. I think that this is a team that's kind of figured out last year when they want to peak, and they're going to be really interested in that NCAA tournament berth and looking more towards the conference tournament than making sure that they smoke the regular season, I think.
At 2, I went Montana. DeCuire and company, culture. They'll figure it out. They'll use the non-con, take it on the chin a couple times. They'll be ready to go by Big Sky play, and they'll win games like they always do.
Number 1, I've got Idaho. I think that there's really good shooting on this roster. There's positional size as well. I think it's the best backcourt, and I believe that Alex Pribble's got the goods. So we're going with the Vandals at 1.
Yeah, I've got Montana at 1. Money Williams is just a baller. I will be attempting to make a lot of money on Mr. Money, and I've got the Grizz at number 1.
All right, I got Steve Smiley and company winning it again. I could see Montana and Northern Colorado. I could see there being like a 2-way tie again, or maybe even a 3-way tie. But yeah, I'll go Northern Colorado. They've been the most consistent program the last couple of years. So yeah, Steve Smiley and company. All right, tournament winner.
Yeah, tournament winner. It's always going to be one of the Montanas, right? I'm going to go the Grizz.
Always going to be one of the Montanas. No, I think Northern Colorado gets the tournament this year and gets themselves a berth.
I was going to say, I think Smiley's going to get it done this year. He's been knocking on the door, man. This
is a Mac and Colby special. Like, he could have not given me a roster, and I was going to pick Northern Colorado to win this conference tournament.
Yeah, give me Northern Colorado beats Montana in the final. We get a little bit of some chalk after crazy years in this league.
All right, sleeper. So last year we had a tie for first at 15-3 between Northern Colorado and Montana. The next best record was 11-7. So I think it's safe to say, let's just go who has the highest potential, who's going to finish in the top 3, top 4 of this conference out of all the teams except for Northern Colorado and Montana. For me, it's Idaho. Last year they finished 8-10. 14-19 overall. I think the Vandals take a big step up this year and win the league.
Idaho's the easy pick. Come on, we're going TMZ, Sacramento State, coming back from last place. They're going to take a big step forward here. What, they won 3 games in the league last year?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, they're busting over that big time.
It's a good answer as well.
I'm Idaho too. I got them in my top 3.
All righty. And then bust out of, let's say, Northern Colorado, Montana. I combined the 2 there. Portland State, those 3. Who's got the lowest floor?
Portland State.
Yeah, right.
I think that's a pretty easy pick. Those other two, you know the bottom's not going to fall out with those 2.
I agree.
Yeah, I was gonna say if I was allowed to pick anyone else, I would take Idaho State.
All right, how about this? Because I think
step down from where they're at.
I think all 3 of us have Northern Colorado and Montana in like our contenders bin. Who's got the lower floor of the 2?
Northern Colorado.
I think it's Montana.
Yeah.
I think there's a chance that the Northern Colorado roster and the coach don't always work out. Like the same thing that we've said a few times in the past. We're banking on these culture plays.
Yeah,
I am a little scared of that one. But
I think Montana's. I think Montana's baking on some portal gits that haven't played a whole lot, but
yeah, they're playing against fucking Mike Bibby. They're gonna fucking win.
Watch Bibby finish top 3 now, man.
They're playing against Mike Bibby and 90-year-old Dan Monson. I think they're going to be just fine.
Damn it. Come on, man.
I like Monson, but his run was with the goddamn Gonzaga in the 90s before Mark Few. Mark Few's been there like 30 years. Munson was the one that was before Few.
Yeah,
we're still talking about the Gonzaga team back then.
He did win a Big West tournament 2 years ago.
No, that was because of karma, because of how Long Beach fucked him, and I was all for him winning that. That was bullshit. That was great. So shout out Dan Monson for getting that one last ride, baby. I hope I'm wrong on EDub. I'd love to see them contend. All right, well, Sun Belt coming up here in a little bit. Got to finish some things up, and then college football. I don't know when Colby's back from media days.
Looking live, ACC Media Days.
We may need to bump the Sun Belt to tomorrow because I forgot he's got main SGP show. Make sure you got your notifications turned on.
I don't have a problem with that because the Tigers are getting their ass kicked, and maybe I need to watch that game. They might turn it around.
4-0. The Yankees are already losing too. The Yankees suck.
I was gonna say the Eugenio Suarez was the Adam Rosenberg Handicrafts play, and he hit the home run. Now we're looking for Parker Meadows.
His return to Detroit.
We're gonna bump the Sun Belt back because that's 14 teams. That's not gonna be a quick episode. So you're looking live. Turn on your notifications. We'll figure out a time to do that tomorrow, and then figure out what other leagues we're gonna do. So
I'm out tomorrow. Let's just double up Thursday.
We could, stay tuned.
Flatty Jr. just terrorizing.
I got FCS on Thursday too. Yeah, so I mean, that'd be a triple header for me. So we'll figure it out.
I could do
Hammer Montana.
Well, tomorrow's your picks day, so
I know. It's tough this time of year, but we'll get them all in. I promise my clientele. But anyway,
you and I can do Sunbelt tonight, like late.
Probably not.
Okay.
Probably not. I don't really want to talk Sunbelt at midnight. I want a fresher brain to talk the Funbelt.
Right.
We got plenty of time before we're going to be staying up till 3 a.m. There's going to be plenty of nights when we'll be up till 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. I don't need to start volunteering to stay up till 3 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
But yes, anyway, go check out Troy's work at Troy Tudig. Go check out Noah's work at NoahB77_. Don't tweet him about the Tigers. I'm at Moneyline_Mac. We are the College Basketball Experience. This is the Big Sky, baby. You better start thinking about yours. And we are out of here. Cheers.
Opening night of hockey, Troy.
Yeah, that's why I can't do any of the shows tomorrow. Be down at the old Capital One, watching our 41-year-old
the
Russian.
Best arena in the Big East.
The best arena in the Big East, Capital One Arena. Biggest home advantage in the entire league.
Yeah.
Way better than Providence.
The grade 8 playing on October 8th. All in.
Nuke missile.
Yeah.
Anytime goal.